We are doing something special for you this evening. We're going to do authentic beef Wellington. Very, very simple dish, but it is beautifully tasteful. So, what I got here, nice bit of filet. Because I got a steak restaurant, I was able to get this for relatively cheap, like free. So, speak to your butcher when you get yourself a nice bit of filet. This is going to be enough, 2-3 people. Two people is a lot, but 3 it's more than enough. You want around about 180 to 200 grams, 220 maximum per person. So here I would recommend, I reckon we have around 400 and something grams. Yeah, I'd say around about 420 grams, more or less. So to that, what we're gonna do, nice hot pan, and I'm gonna take just a drizzle of olive oil, not much, just a drizzle. You don't have to use olive oil on this one, you can use just regular oil. I just want to use the olive oil. That's it. I'm going to take a spoon, little knob of butter on there as well, just a little bit. It goes on there. Once that starts melting, sizzling up, I'm going to put the beef on. Before I do that, season. A lot of salt. Don't be afraid of seasoning, because you think, oh, there's a lot of salt on the outside. Don't forget, it's a big piece of meat and the salt has to get through every little part of it. Now, beef Wellington, a great dish. It's one of those dishes that seems very complicated, overly complicated. It's not. I'm going to show you my version of beef Wellington. There's a couple other ways that I would tell you that you can do it if you want to do it. If you don't want to add certain things, you're not happy with certain things, it's entirely up to you. Good helping of pepper here. Don't be afraid of the pepper. Turn it this side. Good helping of pepper here. Roll it around on your plate to get all the other bits and pieces that have fallen off. Now with this, what you're going to do, place it in the plate, in the pan, nice hot pan, and you turn the heat up maximum. What you want to do now is kind of just sear it. You're going to get a nice little crust on the outside, and the inside is going to be nice and beautiful and pink. Pink, it should be pink. Shouldn't be grey, shouldn't be brown, should be pink. He's shaking his head over there. Right, this should be pink. Now, what I suggest you do when you're cooking it, cook it to the kind of temperature that you like. So if you like it at medium, if you like it rare, you just want to brown it, seal it quickly on all sides, and it goes in the oven. If you like it a little bit more cooked, cook it a little bit more. You want to cook it just a degree under what you normally have it. So if you have it medium, you want to cook it to kind of a medium rare sort of level. If I grab my tongs, which are over here. Now, nice hot heat. The reason why I put oil and the butter will give it the flavor, and the oil that's there will stop the butter burning. So I'm gonna have a nice heat. You just want to char it a bit. Again, with the meat, it's key that you rest it once you take it out of the heat. If you don't rest it, what happens is then once you start to wrap it, or once you want to use the meat for it, all the juices start to come out. That's not what you want. You want to rest the meat, let it relax, let all the meat just absorb what's there, let the juices flow out. You can use the juices then when you're cooking the other bits and pieces. So moving on, and take some mushroom. I've got some chestnut mushrooms. This is just regular old mushrooms. Here we go. Now, you're going to dice the mushrooms very, very, very finely. You want to keep them, like I said, you're going to get fine as you like, as fine as you can possibly do them. That's how fine you want it. You want it almost like a crumb kind of texture for these mushrooms. And this is going to go and encase the beef once you've done that. And it's going to get all the flavour that's on there. There's a couple of things that you can add to it as you want. If you've got some wild mushrooms, put some wild mushrooms. If you want to use just one type of mushroom, put one type of mushroom. It really doesn't matter. So try and dice it as much. If you've got a food processor, do it, but do it on blitz. Don't just blend, otherwise what happens is you're going to have some mushy paste, mushroom paste. You don't want mushroom paste. You turn that over, you can get all sides done. And you want it, like I say, if you want it rare, then you just season it straight away, seal it, and then it's ready to go. You want it medium rare, you're going to kind of cook it to a rare kind of level normally of the steak. Just dicing this up. Keep an eye on your meat. You don't want to burn it, and you definitely don't want to overcook it. Now the other ingredients that is in this dish, it is prosciutto. Now prosciutto or bacon, if you can get the halal bacon, much better. Obviously, if you can't get any halal bacon, I wouldn't put anything. Okay, if you can get halal bacon, perfect. Don't get that turkey, nasty processed stuff. Try and get something that's good. If you can't get it, try and get some kind of salami, but not the spicy one. You just want the plain one. Let me turn this on again. Now, that for me is cooked perfectly. It's still soft. You still got that pinkness right in the middle. Look at that. There. Fantastic. Those are the juices that I said you got to take off. Oh, thank you very much. Look at that. I think he needs a job with me in the restaurant, I tell you. Perfect. Cover it up. Okay. You want to keep I don't want to keep it too hot. Don't forget it's going to go in the oven. So I'm taking this off the heat right now, but I'm not going to change the pan or anything. I'm going to adjust a little bit of oil to here. The pan is still very hot, so you're going to add just a little bit of oil. I'm going to turn down the temperature. We're not cooking the steak no more. And I'm going to finish these mushrooms. Right, so that is that. To that pan, then again, back to my butter. Add a dollop of butter in there. Right. And because it's been taken off the heat, it's just cooled down. I'm going to put that back over the heat. Mushrooms in, like so. And you're going to fry all these mushrooms off. Get all those mushrooms out. Now, the mushrooms are going to drink up all of that butter, that oil, that flavor that's in that pan. I'm going to add another little knob of butter because it's just make it a bit more healthy. Bosh, right in there. Waste not, want not. There you go. Don't need that no more. I'm just going to stir this up. Now, you see all that stuff there, all this little black stuff that's coming up, that is all the bit of the meat that's in there. You want all of that in there, and you've got that beautiful mushrooms. If you don't like mushrooms, you could substitute this for, I don't know, let's see what else. You could substitute for something else. If you want to do spinach, you could do spinach. Craig asked me about spinach in Beef Wellington. I did say normally that's with a kind of salmon. You do a salmon Wellington with some spinach, but you could substitute with spinach. A little bit of mustard, you want to put mustard or not, it's entirely up to you. But the basis of it is filet steak, mushrooms, puff pastry. Whatever you decide to put in and around it, it's up to you. Again, if you can't get any decent halal bacon, then you don't have to put it. Just add a bit of mustard in here and it gives it that extra flavor. That bacon will give you that bit of fattiness that you need, that is missing from the filet steak, as well as that flavor. So this is just beautifully sauteed down. To that, a few sprigs of thyme. You're going to take these out soon, so don't worry about it too much. Oh, that thyme, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thyme and mushroom work wonders together. It's a classic. All right, if you come down to my restaurant, all of our mushroom sauce always has a bit of thyme in it, and we'll blend that up. It's fantastic. Mushrooms and steak, again, match made in heaven. So this is on there. Turn this up just a little bit. Again, back up. And to that, I'm going to add, well, my dear friend Mr. Azhar left some of his non-alcoholic wine here, so I'm going to add just a splash. And you want it just a splash, you don't want much, all right? That's about it. And you can just let all the mushrooms soak up, and you want it kind of, when it's got to the consistency of a kind of paste, that is then perfect. Puff pastry, buy it, ready-made. Really, there is no chef that I know that hand makes puff pastry anymore. It's just really, it's not worth it. The amount of headache that it takes to make puff pastry. Trust me. I remember doing it at school when we were studying, not at school, at the chef's college, when we was doing this, and it was the worst task that anybody could ever give you. It was folding and then layering with butter, and then rolling and then folding and layering butter, rolling and folding and layering butter, over and over and over and over and over and over again. But we had to do it because we had to know how it's done. So now, like I said, it's just not worth it, really isn't. So this is cooking down beautifully. You want all the liquid to be absorbed or evaporated. You don't want any more liquid, because otherwise what's going to happen when you put it in, it's just going to soak up. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this, I'm going to take the juices from here, put that right in there. That is fantastic. You see that steak there? Oh, I can eat that just as it is. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So that's like so. Cooking that down. Take one egg, or in fact I'm going to take egg yolk. Now to this egg yolk I'm going to add just a splash of water. Just a splash I put. And you are going to then just whisk it up. That is to be going on our pastry. You're going to seal the sides, you know, the glaze a bit on top. Fantastic. Right. So turn this, I'm going to turn this heat up until all of the liquid has finally been reduced, because you don't want any liquid. Otherwise what happens is if you start putting too much liquid in with it, once you fold up the pastry, liquid starts leaking, you end up getting soggy pastry. Not something you want. I'm going to take a couple of strips of this bacon at the moment. 1, 2, let's take 3. 3. Make sure it's nice and thin. You need to place that on top, like so. Then I'm going to take more of it and I'm going to just place it over the top like this. Get it nice and thin. If you have to stretch it out a little bit. That is going to be wonderful. The flavour that is going to come off of that is going to be absolutely fantastic. This is perfect. No, that's where you want it. So when you can kind of spoon it together, that's perfect. I'm going to take out the little stalks here. Right. So you try to cool this down as much as possible. So I'm just going to paste this on top like so. One here and one over here. Be liberal with it. Try and get it spread out as much as possible. Use it all. Okay, you don't want to waste any. But you don't want to have little pockets of it around, so you're just trying to get it all on the top like so. Next point is I'm going to use egg, and I'm going to use, excuse the fingers, but I'm going to use just a little bit of finger here and just some around here, just some around here, nice and messy. And you're going to pull this over nice and tight. You take it off paper from the back. Come along, come along, come along. That's it, perfect. Take off the paper from the back. A little bit of egg around here. Now, you can cut it to size if you wish. You can do what I'm doing there, which is now a double kind of wrap. So on top will be an extra layer, so on top will be slightly thicker. And you want to press it down. And you want to try and get the air out, okay? It's like when you're making a ravioli. If you have any air inside, what happens is then the air inside, the steam will build up inside the air and it will pop. I'm gonna make it a bit neater, so I will take my knife and just trim off the sides like so. Trim off this edge here. Don't need this no more. And again here, just straighten up the edges. So all you need to do, just seal them nice and tight. Gotta try and seal it properly. Now, an easier way to do it would be 2 sheets of paper, one on the bottom, fold one over the top. That would be a lot easier. But I'm here and I'm doing it in a hurry. Like so. Boop, bim, bim, bim. It's messy, we know. It doesn't have to be neat. So I'm not doing restaurant quality at the moment. I'm doing what you would normally do at home. Right, so baking tray. We'll take that off. Come along, come along, come along. There it is, there it is, there it is, there it is. Right on there. Okay. Back. Then in the oven. Ooh, you're gonna put just a little bit, look at that. Don't even worry about it too much. If you've got the brush, use a brush. If you haven't, use your fingers. I say, this is at home, all right? You're gonna get rough and dirty and messy. You don't have to worry about it. Nice and simple. That is going to be wonderfully golden. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That then goes into my oven, which is hot, hot, hot. Until the pastry is golden. Right, the beef Wellington has been in the oven. It's been in there for around about 20-25 minutes. I'm going to take it out. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it's not overcooked. Beef Wellington is one of those dishes that you never know. You never know what it's like until you cut in. It's a risky one, it really is. So that one there looks perfect. The crispy. Oh yeah, that's nice and crispy on there. Now, I'll take my fish slice here, put these oven mitts back, and just try to carefully fries it. I'm gonna make sure your underneath feels cooked, the top feels cooked, and yeah, you gotta hear that little crumble, that crackle. That's perfect. Right, this is the kind of dish that if there's two of you sharing it, you don't need nothing more than a nice green salad, a little bit of dressing on there. If there's more, 3 people, 4 people sharing, which is possible, then you want to have your sides, a bit of mash, a bit of roast potatoes, a bit of boiled potato, new potatoes, some side veg. It's fantastic. So, the moment is upon us. Just gonna slide through. It should be perfectly. Let's see how that is. Ooh, that's not bad. We got there a nice little medium going on in there. Nice, that is a perfect medium. Perfect medium, look at that. Exactly how I like my steak. Steak should not be more than medium. I would have it maybe a little bit more rare. You take it out a bit sooner. Guys, simple, easy beef Wellington. Enjoy.